Looks like they're setting up some anti-armor shit over here.
Hey, what's up guys, Nine Toes here, and today I want to cover with you some of the highlights of the new 104 patch for Battlefield 3 that was made available starting on March 27th with the PlayStation 3. Many of these may be applicable to either the PC or the Xbox 360, however the PlayStation guys got it first, which gave us a first shot at reviewing the patch from DICE. What you're mostly going to see here are many of the most anticipated updates along with a few other improvements I felt were worth sharing with you. First being the tweaked squad menu screen that now allows you to browse and change squads should you fall behind with your buddies without first leaving the one you're in. Squad leaders now, however, cannot kick out a squad member like they have before, but spawning in with friends from the title menu screen has definitely improved. One big one, especially for us PS3 guys, is the option to turn off anti-aliasing, which can help in reducing input lag. I have indeed noticed the input lag has been reduced quite a bit, even though complete elimination is still yet a dream. Next, out of bounds areas in all of the maps are better defined in red, whereas before they were light blue. This is also visible in the retouch mini-maps down below as well, making it easier for you to see at a glance whether you're playing in normal or hardcore modes, but likely more applicable for when you're in vehicles. Now, for us console players, we can rent servers for private unranked matches and setting parameters like, well, pistol-only rounds, shenanigans, practicing your 1,000-meter headshot for the bush camping Wookiees out there, or flying in air vehicles as examples. Conversely, you can make your own playlists for ranked and public play too. Conquest Assault now has its own playlist. A frustration I've had with the new patch is that the vehicles now take on a much higher rate of damage, so be prepared to have somebody in the squad as an engineer with a repair tool. So here's a sight we've all seen before: the engineer with a repair torch hanging out the side of a scout helicopter, being a pilot's best friend while he rained down hell. Well, now you may as well need two of these torching engineers just to keep these choppers up, since the rate of repairs have been reduced down drastically. This would also be true as far as the rate of repair with any other vehicles on the battlefield as well too, but yeah, so keep those torches handy, guys. Probably heard by now that bullet damage on many guns has been tweaked for some balancing, meaning that it will take more rounds to get your kill. Well, it is true. Conversely, however, think of it like this: it can now take more rounds to kill you, meaning that you may survive a gunfight here and there with cover. By the way, DICE, just, kind of curious here, but what happened to not taking damage from short falls, huh? Alright, next up, let's have a closer look at the tactical lights, which have been nerfed, or at least this is their version of being nerfed, so at least now it's not like you're staring into the sun without wearing a welder's mask. Moving around from a prone position has been sped up too when you're quickly ducking for cover or running from a grenade, just as examples. Now we're going to have a closer look at some guns. The FAMAS now has a very high initial recoil with its rapid fire. You're going to chew through a lot of ammo, almost like you're spraying and praying. Its effective range was cut down, so it's not the overpowered monster that it once was. However, it still is a terror if you obviously use it right. I feel that it's usable, but it definitely is not what it once was. Alright, a huge help on the stationary AA guns is now the standard air radar. Not talking about the mobile AA, but rather the emplaced AAs typically found on the spawn. I also really like that you can choose to directly spawn into most of them like you would, well, any vehicles. When Suns see this, they know it's coming. The dreaded and most hated weapon in the game, the UAssassin frag rounds. They're now basically worthless, in my opinion. With their reduced rate of fire and limited range, I've definitely noticed less of the rapid bang, 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 bang of this damn thing being used, and I personally like it like that. I'm hearing and seeing less people use it, and quite frankly, I was never a fan to begin with of it anyway, so, but I decided to show you a couple clips of me using it and, well, getting killed by it, or getting killed against it, shall I say. Alright, let's look at another pass, the Recon Class MAV. It was supposed to be a one kill and done, you know, with this change for, of course, the recon guys that, you know, use it, you know, only to kill. However, I actually did manage to squeeze in a second kill before it did get destroyed. Personally, glad this annoying thing won't be used as much for killing as it once was, and it's hopefully will be used more for what it's supposed to be for, spotting. Now here's something that's definitely split the Battlefield community, the MAV riding, or what's known as the MAV elevator. Now, while I've heard that there's a trick or some sort of workaround, you know, currently so that you can use it as an elevator, I'm almost certain that it is bogus. As you're seeing before you, I've tried standing on it, crouching on it, even prone on top of it, and it just won't budge. So no matter, you know, I guess what you do, I guess it detects if there's any kind of weight on top of it. It won't budge. So, well, no matter how you feel about it, it's now over. I don't mind. It gave me something to aim for with my M224 mortar anyway. Alright, I'll admit, I'm definitely not a snipper, but I did play some aggressive recon back in the BC2 days, and like the fact that the sniper rifles did get a buff when using close quarters. I'd much rather use an 870 MCS or a PDW with the recon class, but I definitely had to give it a try. It was fun. I don't see myself really doing this a whole lot because I definitely am not Sergeant Enigma. My favorite vehicle in the game has got to be the Havoc. However, it was a lot like driving Grandpa's Cadillac. Very clunky and, well, not very responsive. So thank God this is finally addressed because it is now much more agile and all around just easier to fly, allowing, you know, the pilot to obviously fly away when a threat like a jet or another attack helicopter was obviously locking on. So this was one of the things that DICE did not put in their upcoming tweaks when they, of course, announced them. So this was definitely a very pleasant surprise to find. Alright, you guys asked for it. At least most of you did. Jeeps are now horny. Can't wait to see some future montages with this. Since the launch of the game, I've played for hundreds of hours and totaled very little javelin kills because the damn thing just plain out sucked. Now it's a one-hit disable and a very useful piece of machinery while on the battlefield. Just like before, it's even more beautiful with the SOFLOM, but no one's even using that damn thing since the B2K assignments are now over. Yes, the Stingers and the Iglas still suck. Alright, so this guy flew away from me, but the effective range has been cut even though they lock on faster. I don't have very many kills with them anyways because they've been so ineffective. However, now that they're a one-shot disable, I finally think that the chances will get, you know, better to finally put these to use. Alright, maybe it's a bug, but deploying the M224 mortar has been a little spotty since the patch. Here I couldn't deploy this thing anywhere, but, well, I guess problem solved if you can't spawn camp and spam down rounds. I honestly haven't used these since they patched them last time, but I'm glad they're back. The infrared night vision scope is finally usable once again, albeit it's not as great as how they were when the game first launched. I'll definitely take it as compared to what they were before, as it was just horrible to use with that fog and not very effective in range. Now here's one of my favorite updates. The hardest ribbons have just become a little more achievable. Suppression ribbons were cut from 7 to 4, Air Warfare from 6 to 5, MCOM Defender from 4 to 2, and MCOM Attacker from 3 to 2, just to name a few. Because, good Lord knows, I love me some medals. Finally, I'll leave you with suppression being the new annoyance that was cranked up, and even with the suppression cover specialization, which really doesn't seem to do much against it, it is annoying when you're blurred and your aim's accuracy is decreased like it is now. I'd much rather prefer the bloody screen most other games have, so you can at least survive and fight again. Well, there you have it, some of the more bigger changes that are now in effect with Battlefield 3's latest patch. My intention wasn't to try to cover everything, but just the more notable things and bring to you guys' attention. So, hope you enjoyed, and, well, see you around the battlefield.